Welcome to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast, your weekly news roundup of hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories from around the Gem State. Hosted by Fish and Game's Public Information Specialist, Connor J. Lease.
And welcome back to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast. This week, we're talking about migratory game bird season-setting proposals, 10 cool facts about where many of the fish you catch come from, and supporting elk recovery with targeted wolf management actions up in Unit 4. But first, grab a shovel and a set of garden gloves, because here's how you can give back to Idaho's wild critters and wild places this spring.
Dig it up, dig it. Dig it up, dig it up.
Many hands make light work. And when tens of thousands of sage and bitter and rabbit brush seedlings need a new home in Idaho's fire-scarred landscapes, we could use all the help we can get. Whether you're a die-hard mule deer hunter, an upland bird fanatic, or just a backyard green thumb, it doesn't matter. Restocking our wildlife's grocery store is a perfect way to be a good steward and give back to the wild places we all know and love. Wildfire hasn't been too kind in recent years to patchworks of sagebrush habitat all across southern Idaho. That's why Idaho Fish and Game is seeking volunteers to come spend a day or a weekend helping our habitat biologists and various partners help plant sagebrush seedlings. Last year, an army of volunteers helped replant thousands of acres with 40 million sagebrush and bitterbrush seeds after the paddock fire torched a huge portion of mule deer winter range up near Emmett in the summer of 24. And sadly, that wasn't the only big fire in southern Idaho. As you can see firsthand in the video, in this press release, and on our website, a little help can make a big difference. Below is a full list of volunteer opportunities coming up in southwest Idaho this spring, starting with March 7th, the Valley Fire Restoration on the Boise River WMA, also happening on March 14th. Then on March 21st and March 28th, we have crews working on the paddock fire restoration near 4 Mile Grade north of Emmett. There's also a April 4th date that's tentative for the same restoration project. If you want to sign up, you can email r3volunteers@idfg.idaho.gov and wait for a reply that will contain links to online sign-up forms and all the details. That's R, like the letter R, the number 3, volunteers@idfg.idaho.gov. Email address and link to the story will be down in the show notes. Alrighty, Public Information Supervisor Roger Phillips has got a new story out now. Get to know Fish and Game's hatcheries. So without further ado, here are 10 cool facts about where many of your fish come from. Idaho Fish and Game's hatchery crews are gearing up for a busy season of stocking fish throughout the state. Hatchery crews are responsible for hatching, raising, and releasing millions of fish for anglers to catch, which is a huge job. Fortunately, they've been doing it for a long time. How long, you ask? Well, let's take a look at 10 cool facts about Idaho's hatcheries to find out more and more cool information that anglers and non-anglers can appreciate. Number 1, Fish and Game raises and releases about 29 million fish annually out of its 19 fish hatcheries located throughout the state. Number 2, Fish and Game has been raising and releasing hatchery trout for more than a century. The oldest hatchery is the Hayspur Hatchery near Peekaboo, which started in 1907. Fish and Game has 3 more hatcheries that have been continuously operating for more than a century. Number 3, every month of the year, Fish and Game's hatchery staff release quote-unquote catchable rainbow trout in the 10 to 13-inch range. Depending on the season, crews release trout in ponds, reservoirs, lakes, and rivers for anglers to catch, as well as fingerling kokanee in the spring. Fish and Game also raises and releases millions of salmon and steelhead smolts, which are young fish released in the spring to migrate to the ocean and then come back years later as adults. Number 4, our hatcheries raise and release about 20 types of fish. Some vary depending on the year, ranging from kokanee salmon that are released at 2.5 inches up to sturgeon that are released up to 4 feet long. Number 5, the average cost to raise and release a 12-inch rainbow trout is somewhere around $3, depending on the release location. Number 6, under ideal conditions, Fish and Game's hatchery crews can take a rainbow trout egg and raise it to a 12-inch fish ready to stock in about 14 months. Number 7. Hatchery biologists can manipulate the amount and duration of light a fish receives each day to trigger them into a spawning cycle. Manipulating the timing of those spawning periods allows hatcheries to produce catchable trout ready for stocking any month of the year. Number 8. Fish and Game annually feeds about 3 million pounds of fish food in its hatcheries, which is roughly the equivalent weight of 13 blue whales or 230 bull elephants. Number 9. Many of Idaho's hatcheries are fed by natural spring water that emerges from the ground between 50 and 60 degrees, perfect temperatures for growing trout. And number 10. All Fish and Game hatcheries operate 365 days per year. All full-time hatchery staff live on-site at each hatchery to ensure it is running smoothly and to immediately react to any emergency situations that pop up. Remember, the public is welcome to take self-guided walking tours at nearly all Fish and Game hatcheries. If you want some more information on hatchery locations and hours, be sure to check out Fish and Game's hatchery webpage, or you can hit the link below and read Roger Phillips' story. All right, migrating over to season setting proposals. Fish and Game is seeking comments on proposed migratory game bird seasons for 2026 through 2027. Fish and Game staff will present all season proposals to the Commission for review during the April 9th conference call. Hunters can review these proposals online and provide input on the migratory game bird webpage. That deadline to comment is going to be March 15th. For those interested in commenting on a specific season proposal, we got you covered. You can click on each section that pertains to you right from the press release link down in the show notes. The aforementioned duck and goose season recommendations are thanks in large part to all of our duck and goose hunters whose responses in the 2024 goose and 2025 duck surveys helped our staff shape these season structure proposals and zone boundaries. The Fish and Game Commission will consider the 2026 through 2027 migratory game bird season recommendations during its April 9th conference call. The public comment process will also include meetings and open houses hosted at Fish and Game's regional offices at the time and dates listed in this story. But just note, not all Fish and Game regions will be hosting meetings and open houses, so be sure to check the press release. For more on this story or to check out the 2026 through 2027 season proposals, visit our website and see the public comment button on the right-hand side of our homepage. All right, last up, a story out of our Panhandle region about how our staff are improving elk survival by lowering predation of wolves. Idaho Fish and Game completed targeted wolf management actions on February 21st and 22nd that removed 3 wolves from Unit 4 up in the Panhandle elk zone. This marks the first time such actions have been implemented in Idaho's Panhandle region. This effort, when combined with recent success of local trappers, substantially reduced the size of a single wolf pack in a key part of that unit. Recent data indicates that elk numbers in Unit 4 have declined, with predation on elk calves being a contributing factor. To promote elk population growth, Fish and Game continues to address overall predation impacts by offering expanded opportunities to harvest black bears, mountain lions, and wolves in Unit 4 through extended seasons and additional tag availability. In addition, Fish and Game has worked with the U.S. Forest Service for years to improve habitat for elk in Unit 4 and is planning on continuing to do so. Fish and Game prioritizes regulated hunting and trapping as the primary tools for managing wolf populations. However, targeted control actions are used to address specific conflicts and in situations where hunting and trapping have not been sufficient to meet management goals. Due to a 2024 federal court injunction affecting wolf trapping seasons, harvest of wolves by trappers has declined steadily, including in Unit 4, affecting progress toward the state's wolf population goal and the ability to reduce wolf predation on elk. The primary goal of the recent action was to reduce predation and improve elk survival in a population that is underperforming. Similar management efforts have been conducted annually in the Lolo elk zone in the Clearwater region over the past decade. The objective is not to eliminate wolves, but to maintain a smaller, self-sustaining wolf population in Unit 4 that reduces predation risk on elk populations. The effort was conducted under the guidance of Fish and Game's 2024 through 2030 Idaho Elk Management Plan and in alignment with the Idaho Fish and Game Commission approved 2023 through 2028 Idaho Gray Wolf Management Plan, which strives to balance wolf conservation in Idaho with responsive and effective conflict resolution. For more information or questions about the recent wolf management actions, please contact the Panhandle Regional Office at 208-769-1414. That is it for major stories this week. Let's hit the rapid fire bulletin. Spring black bear controlled hunt draw results are now available at gooutdoorsidaho.com. Email notifications will be sent to those who provided an email address on their profile. Others can check results at any licensed vendor or any Fish and Game regional office. Now remember, it is the applicant's responsibility to see if they were successful in the drawing and then purchase that tag. Anyone hunting black bears in Idaho must show proof that they have passed a bear identification test to help them differentiate between black bears and grizzly bears. To learn more and to take the test, go to the Bear Identification webpage. Remember, the test is free, and hunters, you only have to take it and pass it just once. And circling back to hatcheries, many of Idaho's lakes and ponds are soon going to be bolstered with Idaho Fish and Game stocking over 110,000 catchable-sized rainbow trout this March. If you're wondering if the stocking trucks are going to be backing up to your favorite fishing hole, well, we asked our Fish and Game hatchery staff to boil down some of the most notable stocking highlights coming to your local fishery this month. Hit the link in the show notes to see a condensed list of our top stocked fishing holes all across the state this month. That's all the news we have for this week. Thanks for putting an ear to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin. If there's something on your mind, or if you got a question related to Fish and Game matters, feel free to drop us a line at podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Again, that's podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll catch you next week.